Good afternoon, one and all. I can see many have joined, and most of them are faculties, instructors, and trainers, researchers, scientists, and many more others, even prospective faculties too. I can see a few of them. Without much ado, we are having a kind of a shift actually because of this pandemic situation. And I also wanted to remind that hope everyone is doing safe and we are all doing well. And prayers for everyone who are having difficulties. So here today we are going to look at a paradigm shift from offline to online teaching. It is not that we are completely shifting, but it is okay. So keeping these things in mind, of course, these difficulties are there, but this is something which is already known. We have to go with no other choice. Um, so yeah, thank you for letting me know that I'm audible. We will start the session right now. Give me one more minute just to check everything. It was everything fine before, but immediately the power went off and it had issues. So I can see now everybody is able to see the screen now. Great. Okay, so without much ado, I'm moving forward. So today we will be more focusing on to what many people, including the participants, had their opinion on specific areas, and also to little bit understand about e-learning. So before moving forward, I wanted to tell you that you can ask any question. For today's session only, I'm going to use Menti. For the next two sessions, I want you to be courageous, unmute yourself and ask questions. I saw that in the pre-evaluation form, many of you mentioned that you have a little bit of nervous and while you're talking, public speaking. Very few, but we want that few also to and speak up. So today we'll be using menti.com. You're free to ask questions, unmuting yourself anytime. But before that, please raise your hands. The co-host will be able to unmute yourself. Those who are in the YouTube channel, please go to this menti.com and give the code. You will be able to ask a question. There will be a button called ask a question and you will be able to post the questions there. And throughout this session, please mute yourself and the webcam also switch it off. If you want to put any chat, please put in the chat. There are moderators and co-hosts. They will take care of your questions, clarifications, anything. I won't be able to see any of your chat because I'm concentrating on my session. And before moving to our next few slides, I wanted everybody to go to, this is our first hands-on exercise, menti.com, and give the code 80560. So now I am going to that slide. Okay, we will get to know how to do this and all, but please go to this menti.com by your on a browser. I hope everyone is on the laptop. It's much easier. If you're in tablet, in mobile, just minimize the session window and open a browser. Go to menti.com and give the code 80506. MENTI you have to give. It is a real-time feedback system. I can see already two of them said, how are you feeling today? Some said excellent. So let's see how far it goes. So please, there are more than 3 parties all together. I would recommend everybody to, I can see only 8 of them have stood. This is part of your exercise, okay? You have to also create something similar to this. People have casted their vote. So this is a real-time feedback system. Letting while you're presenting itself, you will be able to know the feedback from your students or audience. Your question can be anything. Did you understand what I'm telling? Yes or no, or whatever it is. So the question can be anything. Okay. So here you can see 2 of them are tired among 40. 7 saying I'm okay. 24 said I'm completely good. 7 said I'm excellent. No one is there confused state. So among the 40, it's a good number. So that is good. Thank you so much for those votes. So today's agenda that what we are going to cover is general guidelines, how for the next 3 sessions, coming up 3 sessions. What is kind of e-learning? Don't worry, I'm not talking too much about that, just 4 slides. Participants evaluation, that we have to see how far it has gone, and also hands-on session, that is what we are going to cover today, and question and answers if you have any. So in the menti.com I can already see that there are 2 questions already people have posted. So this is how the question comes in, like this. The question will come in, and during the Q&A session we will try to complete it. Now I will answer this question right away. What is the application of Mentimeter? The application of Mentimeter, as I told you, it's a live session which is trying to take a real time, which is like a real time feedback system, so that you can ask questions, do polls, you can perform, you can do quiz. It is something live. When I change the slides, only you also get the slides get changed. Otherwise, it is not like I can switch it off and you can take it anytime whenever you wanted to do. There are other platforms available. This is something real time. So if I change those slides, then only you will get access to them. No, otherwise not. So that's why I said it's real time. So it tries to take a real time feedback system. Okay. So this is the application, and I can click on mark as answered. As a teacher, you can also do the same thing when you're talking to your students. What is the next task? Okay, we are going for that very soon. How to see voting in Mentimeter. As you already saw that, if this is, I'll be able to see the voting. I am sharing my screen. Otherwise, you cannot see the vote. You can just only cast the vote. So I will be sharing through the screen, and you will be able to do it. Just a minute. I can see that in YouTube they're having some issues. Let me just refresh it. So based on this understanding, I think I have answered all the questions at this moment, but we will be again moving for more questions. So don't close your menti.com. We can still, we'll be again using it. So don't close your menti.com. Okay. So I hope now the YouTube viewers will be able to watch this screen now. I just shared it. Okay. So you will be able to see the screen now. Now, as a disclaimer, please do not share any of your personal details during this online session, which is very important. Discussions and comments are all my personal views and does not have any connection with my employer or any organization, and no promotions are entertained. Slides contain the contents, picture, videos, or any other articles, lectures, tutorials are respective authors, and have their own copyrights. I don't own any copyrights. I'm just using to share the knowledge with you all. All the slides will be available in this slideshare.net /giribio, and all the recorded sessions will be available also in YouTube. So, and exercises are given in the guidelines document. I'll show you the guidelines document anyway. So this sessions are divided into 3. The first session that is happening today from 3 to 4:30 p.m. I know it's already because of our technical glitch we had some issue. We will extend a little bit more, but we will ensure that everything is covered. So we are not going to miss anything. We're going to discuss, it's more of a discussion rather than presentation. So we are going to discuss about introduction to e-learning, advantages, disadvantages, virtual teaching concept, and how to implement and deploy. So I'm more concentrating on how to implement and deploy rather than other theory part or pedagogy part. That I hope you get more resources everywhere. The session 2 that is going to happen on Wednesday on June 17th, we will talk more deeper about Google Slides. I know you're very much expert in doing slide preparations in PowerPoint presentations, but we want to do something seamlessly on Google Slides, which has many more other advantages. Then real-time feedback system. It's not only about Mentimeter. We have Kahoot, we have many more Slido, and many more other platforms which is available, including questioning and answering. And content cloud sharing, how to share the content. I'm not saying Google Drive, I'm not saying Dropbox, it's something about that. Okay, this is more focused towards the classes and teaching and training kind of area. The third session we will be doing, how can we conduct exams and test online? That is something very interesting and very challenging also. So we will be doing it. How can we generate certificates? Let's say you are conducting a training and you want to generate certificate. Let's say you have 1,000 participants came. Can you sit and prepare certificates for each one of them? Not at all possible. So there is an automated way to generate certificates also. So that will be also covered. How to record webinar, post it in YouTube, all those things also will be discussed. So it's more of practical things rather than I'm just presenting it. So I will be telling you and you will be also doing it. Not necessarily right now. You can do it later. Share the links. Now, how do we know that whatever I spent time, you got the real message and you're able to reproduce them? That is where the assignments and tasks coming up. So all the participants will get the e-certificate. Rather than a participation, we mention that you have done successfully completed the assignments, kind of that way. So you have to complete it. So there will be assignments like you have to sign up on all the platforms mentioned in the guidelines, which is very helpful either today or later. A graded quiz, that you wanted to conduct a quiz, but the platform should automatically grade it. Either you can use Google Forms or any other platforms. Engage the students. How I engaged you right now before starting my session. So how can you engage the students? The slides in Google Slides and then post them in SlideShare. So as I said, I'll be sharing the slides in my SlideShare. Similarly, so how you can make it more engaging for the students and see how things are happening. And then create a Mentimeter, like what you did today, how you're going to create a Mentimeter. And finally, how to record a webinar. For example, some of your students missed it because he's not well, not having internet issue as I had. So he wanted to listen to it later. So how can you record it? So all these things we will be doing it as a task as well as will be given to you as an assignment. You have to submit it, then only you will get an e-certificate. Of course, we have to learn something, right? So certain parameters of e-certificate, you should attend all the 3 sessions from June for June 15, that is today, 17 and 19. At least 80% of the every session should be attended. Of course, softwares are going to monitor it, how much time you have watched your screen lively. And then assignment tasks to be submitted within the deadline. We'll let you know the deadline soon. And the submission of feedback form is also important. So you're eligible for e-certificate. This is nothing like a student teacher, but this is something to ensure that whatever time we are going to spend for the next 3 days is really productive and it's going to be useful. That's only a generous way to put it forward. So today, as I said, we are focusing on these topics. Without much ado, let's move forward. So we are trying to understand what is e-learning. E-learning is a learning process which takes place partly or fully by means of digital technology. Don't worry, I have only 3 slides, so not too much of theory. So e-course is something is done in LMS environment, learning management system. And for example, learning management systems are like Coursera, edX, then you have Canvas, Open Courseware, and many more. Moodle, they are all something called as LMS. They don't require teacher to be on real time. They are recorded videos. There are materials available. On the page, the student will carry out, especially like Coursera also. So they are not real time, but they are also part of e-learning. Then web-based learning materials, that is including audio, video, what we are right now doing it. Using digital communications like forums, discussion forums or webinars. Using social media like wikis, blogs, writing tools. Of course, we are discussing all these parameters in these sessions. Then web-based learning is something that the entire learning process, the content, communication, dissemination of information, and communication between course participant, learning, evaluation, everything takes place via internet lively. So that is what now everybody is looking forward to, because LMS based learning is anyway available in the market. Only thing, we have to convert offline content to online. That's the only part. But something real time learning is something many schools, colleges have already started. For example, my daughter is now having every day 2 hours class, a live session with her teacher. So they try to conduct in Webex. So there are multiple platforms available. So that is web-based learning. LMS we have to understand, because let me very frank with you. You're putting too much effort on taking live classes, fine, and you're creating a lot of content also. Let it be useful for other batches also. If you want, if you think like that, if a college is trying to think like that, and many IITs, NITs already having this LMS in their system already. I will show you some of the example. So why only IITs and NITs? Why can't we do it? That's how we have to think. Lot of effort to be put, but let me tell you that effort is going to be helpful for the next coming years. If you put a lot of effort for this year, the next coming year batches, for example, next year there's a different batch coming for the same subject, right? You can seamlessly use this material for them. So to post course materials which may include text files, photographs, videos, audio clips, animations, and many more. So this will be helpful for you to go for LMS environment. So that is what we are looking at. And also then to facilitate learning through the use of glossaries, self-testing links to materials to the web, there are plenty of platforms available. To evaluate learners' progress, like test and assignments, as we are going to do together, we are going to do as I will be also submitting an assignment along with you, because that is where we have to engage ourselves. And to administer a course, that is learner and learning outcome management, and also compilation of statistical analysis regarding learners. That is what we are going to right now do it from my next slides. We have to do statistical analysis, what my students want, what my audience require, what is their expectation, and do it accordingly. Of course, we have to match our curriculum, that is no doubt at all. But the way you teach, that is your decision, that is under your discretion. You decide how you wanted to teach. So there are few terminologies also you have to understand. That is pedagogy, that is most commonly understood as an approach of teaching, refers to theory, practice of learning. I'm not going too much deep into that, but we have to understand few words like behaviorism, assimilation, affective learning, cognitive learning, think, share, perform, conceptual structure. These terminologies are very important on web-based learning. Input-output way of learning represent a teacher-led approach. When students encounter events similar to what they already know, add something new. That is always a challenge here. So today, I always have a thing, oh, you might be knowing something already. Oh, am I going to repeat it? Might not be interesting to you, but I should do something interesting for you also, as well as for the other general audience. That is assimilation. Learning outcome of cooperative learning, that is also affective learning. That's where we are going to do a collective assignment and all. How to apply their understanding of skills to different sports. So like if you have seen some movies, I don't know the name. They were trying to relate Pythagoras theorem on a playground and trying to draw it, and that's how you try to apply the understanding of skills. And then understand, discuss, and find a solution. My perspective might be different from your perspective, but when all put together, we will come with a very best solution. So it's a collective effort. And division of tasks through roles. It's not that I have to do everything myself. You cannot do that. You might be good at it, but you have to also think that it is a collective effort. So divide the task between roles and do the things properly. The other terminology is something MOOC, MOOC, massive open online course. Open courseware is something similar to that. There are certain universities also promoting MOOC, and many of them through Moodle. Is an online course aimed at unlimited participation and open access via web. You need not to pay anything. It's being content there. It's being evolving. So that's how it is. Keeping all this in mind, so right now I am directly going to some of the statistics. Coming to statistics, this is something that I have collected from the pre-evaluation form. So from the pre-evaluation form, when I just checked before the presentation, I saw that there are 168 responses. I don't want to revise the slide, so I kept it as it is. This I took it last night. Around 103 submissions were happened. I can see that the age category for among the participants is 31 to 40. None of the names are displayed here, no personal details, nothing. So it is just for statistical purpose. They around 62% already conducted online classes, but we can see like around 38% have not conducted any online classes so far. Some have conducted online hands-on, what I'm doing right now, hands-on, but majority, like around 71%, have not conducted any hands-on sessions online. Then if you look at designation, mostly of around 71% is of assistant professors, and other mix of other designated people are also available. Then internet availability, about 91% of people having internet limit of 1 Mbps, at least a data limit of 1.5 GB per day, but still around close to 10% they do not have access, right? So we have to be also concerned about the 10%. 10% means almost 10 people. And if you see this, around 59% are teaching, the participants are teaching master's level, and around 32% teaching bachelor's level, and others are on research and MPhil or PhD or engineering stream. This is something interesting. So if you look at this, you can see around 90% of you guys are using Google Drive or Dropbox for storage purpose, even in your phone or as well as in your laptops. And Google Docs for documentation purpose, you are already using Google Docs around 57%, but there are still about 40% not using it. And then Google Slides also right around still around a good amount of 55% not using it. Google Forms, I can see many of them are using, almost 78% are using already. And if you come to Google Sheets, that is your spreadsheet, still close to 50% not using it. So I have a good mix of participants who are using and not using. Mentimeter, as you can see, around close to 75%, no, 85% are not using it or never heard about real-time feedback system. YouTube Live or Studio, that means you are hosting a video in YouTube, 50% of them not doing it. Edmodo or Kahoot, like a gamification of real-time questions and the Q&A, they're also close to 40% not using. Close to 80% not using it. So let me tell you, all these tools are not paid. It's called freemium. Freemium means some of their features are, most of the features are free, but certain limits. But if you want to go beyond that features, you need to pay. But let me tell you, all this session today, what I'm going to do for the next 3 days, it's all using free account. I didn't pay any penny. This is want to show you how it can be used. But when you have a larger mass and larger number of people, then of course you have to pay for it as per your need. Then SlideShare or Script. Again, I can see that very like around 40% not using, but others are using it. And Adobe Spark or Canva. This is where I saw that almost 80% not using it. This is where we can generate content. It can be video, it can be website, it can be pictures, it can be infogram, it can be anything. I'll show across all these things. Then blogging and creating content, like as I told you earlier, blogs, or you create an article for your class or something like that. I can see most of them are not used, close to 82% not used. Then Portoon and Animoto, like animations, if you want to animate certain explanations. If you see in YouTube, you have good explanation by TED Ed. TED Ed is the channel name. If you go, it's only animation. They try to explain science, biology, chemistry, everything through that animation. So if you want to make similar animation videos, here also I can see around 95% not using it or not known to it also. Then Google Keep, Whiteboard and OpenBoard. Today I'll be also using that. I can use a whiteboard in the screen itself. On the screen itself, you will be able to see what I'm scribbling. So that also many people have not used. Then Pixlr, Gimp, Photoshop. course, few are using like 20%. Class marker, Google Form quiz, where you're going to evaluate, that I can see many are using it. Around 60% are using it. Few more stats, then we are straightforward going. These completely shows you how much you have used online platforms to do your web meetings. For example, Google Meet, Zoom, Skype Meet, Hangout, Webex, GoToMeet. See, let me tell you, everything has its own drawbacks. Everything has its own advantages. Why I picked the Woo app? There is no limit on the time. One. Second, there is no limit on the number of participants. Max is 300, but time no limit. You do it for 24/7, no issues. That's why I choose and move. But all the other features are free until they let us know regarding the pandemic situation. Skype Meet is completely free, but it limits up to 50 people can join at a time. Hangout also has its own limitation. I have tried up to 20, not more than that. Zoom, as you are already aware, 40 minutes is the limit, 100 people are the others. Google Meet, again, 100 is the limit, and you can have any time. Earlier, they were having 1 hour, but you can do it for any hour. Why I didn't pick up Google Meet for this session is because I cannot unmute or mute all of you. I don't have a control. So there might be a lot of disturbances on the background. So that is why I didn't use Google Meet. Also ensure that from September you will get much more advanced features there. So finally, a few of your thought process. Rate your confidence in the experience of the above tools or form. You can see that around 36 people said that they have good expertise. At least 10 of them said, I'm very good. But around 41, so 55, 66, around 66 people said, I'm not so confident on the tools that is being said there. So that is what we have to look at. So around 66 people does not have confidence on how this can be utilized for their studies. So mainly, I'm sure that after these sessions, you will be also able to make use of how these tools can be used productively. Another analysis, do you think online teaching is going to reduce your or make you lose your job? But I made it in a very good way, that is to reduce teaching human resources. Absolutely not. But I can see still around 33 people almost expected that we might lose job if it is going for online. No, you are the experts. Only thing, technology is going to support you to do the teaching. You have to be there for any kind of teaching. You are the only people can handle it. Do you think that if the content, everything is there, if I am teaching chemistry, can I go and teach physics or history? I didn't read anything about history, right? So there should be a teacher dedicated for that. So don't think that it is going to happen. It will never ever happen. So let me give a more confidence here. This is not going to lose or reduce any teaching HR. The LMS system will not reduce the teaching, because you might think, oh, okay, Coursera, without teacher they are learning. Of course, yes. But have you ever thought that when the questions are being asked by the student, someone should sit and reply, right? Who will be replying? The teacher only, the course coordinator only. They only can reply. So being you're not paid, how can you go to reply for that? So don't think that there will be a bias situation here. It's very clear that you are really required. Even the technology is going to support you. Now, this is something very interesting. What are the difficulties that you expect for online training? As you already saw, I faced this difficulty. One is power shutdown. The next is internet. I have 3 connections here on hotspot. I switched in between, and those were the difficulties. Many of them said the difficulty is internet speed. Some said about a laptop not efficient. They do not have a very high-end laptop, because sometimes you really require when you're sharing a screen. Then power shutdown. No voice in certain tools. I'm not good at certain tools. Time for content creation. Of course, it takes a lot of time for content creation. If you see the 6-page guidelines which I prepared, it took too much of days for me to prepare, because read, select the best ones, not put everything like you find in the web. So it takes time. No one to review your content and give comments. Timid of public speaking. What I meant, say you being nervous. Parents might monitor. So you might be teaching and you think that the parents are going to sit and trying to comment on us. Don't think anything like that. You are the person. You know better than what others are going to do. Just present it. freely without any nervousness. Sometimes headache and eye pain. I really agree with you. When you have a longer session, you will have that. So soon we will be taking a break. So every 1 hour a break is recommended. Otherwise, you will have these issue. One is stress. One is sometimes you'll get headache and eye pain because you're always concentrating and looking at the screen. So you will have this issue. Don't feel connected with all the students. I am sure that we will be able to overcome that through this session. And someone also said that there is no difficulties at all. I really good that you have all the above listed difficulties are being addressed and you are able to overcome that. That's great. But majority is having internet speed, power shutdown issues, and many more. Expectations from this 3-day FDP, I can see the majority percentages on hands-on, which we are going to do. Now, how many of you thought that, how did I prepare these statistics? Can any one of you unmute and speak, please? Can anyone of you think, how did I prepare these nice looking colored graphs and all? You can unmute. Someone is there? You can raise your hand so that I can unmute. I can see many of you are not connected to audio. So kindly connect to audio. Many of you have not connected to the audio. That's why you are not able to speak. I'm not sure whether you are able to hear me also. So there is a button called connect audio. So since nobody is answering, I'll pick up the persons now because I told you this is going to be a very interactive session. So let me check now. Rajalakshmi M. Madam, do you want to give a comment on how did I prepare these graphs and slides? Exactly. Exactly. Okay. 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 Absolutely right. This is one way to do it. Any other ways? Absolutely, you are right. Is there any other way? Participants, kindly enable your audio. Yeah, some has said Google Forms. Okay, Google Forms, but how? Some said PowerPoint. So Google, if you say Google Forms, then how? How do you do in Google Forms? I will show you anyway, but whoever already knowing it, just I'm asking. SPSS is a statistical tool. Madam, we need not to go to that deep and all. This is very simple. You need not to do anything. It's very, very simple. So one I heard is Excel sheet, copy things to Excel sheet and prepare the graph. Other is PowerPoint. Other is Google Forms. Other is SPSS. But how? How to do it? So let me now show you the first hands-on. So let me go to that sheet so that I can quickly show. So let it load. Yes. If you go to the response, right? When you create, you won't be able to see this at the end, at the responses. If you go to the bottom, you can see automatically Google has prepared the statistics for you. You need not to copy paste into Excel. You need not to put it into PowerPoint. You need not to even do SPSS. Nothing is required. I just copy pasted this and put it in my slides. That's all I did. So this is something that we are doing, understanding what it's not only about this. If you are sending some feedback form to your students, tomorrow we will be able to easily recollect this. So this is the way that I have prepared the chart or statistics, right? So you can also start doing this. There is a assignment for you after this session to engage your students. You have to come up with innovative and creative questions and try to get this graph and prepare the slide. So your assignment for today will be, one of the assignment is this actually. So this easily does it. You're not paying anything, and you have to have a condition whether everybody chooses, how many of them are choosing these counts. That is something very important. For example, if you mouse over it, it says 106 people said yes, they do have internet connection, but around 10 people said they do not have a proper internet connection. So we will have a live, real time and a dynamic graph that can be created. So that is the advantage here. The same facility is also available in Google Sheets. I will show you when I am going to cover Google Sheets. Okay. Any questions, madam, so far? I'm asking the moderators. Okay. 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 So if you have any questions, either you can unmute, or I will also check the menti.com if you have posted some questions. I don't see any questions here. Yeah. There is no questions. You have not posted any questions. Yeah. Please go ahead, madam. I can show you. And let me tell you that you might think that, oh, I know this, but still there is something more to be there. So don't worry. We will wait for few more things. Okay. So what I was trying to say, madam, is that you will be generally creating a Google form. So in the Google form, okay. Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. That is my next agenda anyway. I'll be showing you how to create a form, how to create questions proactively so that you get these kinds of statistics, all those things. Yes. Okay. I'll cover that today. Okay. Okay. Sure. Okay. Okay. So we are starting with our first hands-on, and before the hands-on going, let me show you those guidelines, which is very important. So in the guidelines, after today's session, one is graded quiz and engage the students. So now I am going to show you a hands-on for engaging the students using Google Forms and Menti.com. And for the graded quiz, again we are using Formally, but again it's a different kind of analysis. So these two we will be doing it for today. So this is the 6-page guidelines. Hope you all got the links. You need not to download or anything. Just you can go to the Chrome. It will display all the links are there. I want you to sign up in most of them, as well as there is something called a Slack for discussion. So if you have any questions while doing assignments, of course we are not in the meeting always, right? I don't want WhatsApp because it will be disturbing people who are sleeping, all those things. So Slack is much better. So Slack won't 9 p.m. at night. So don't worry. So in the you can post your questions. We will be able to answer your queries. Just click the link. You will get the join to the Slack share. So as many of you are having the same question, that is where I was also thinking to it. So we will create a new form. So to create a new form, let me show you. Many of you know, but I'm just repeating. Go to new. First, you have to have a Google account, like Gmail account. Then go to drive.google.com. The links are there in guidelines. Click on new. Come to more. Then something called as Google Forms. So apart from Google Forms, you have Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, as well as drawings and many more other. We will tell about it later. So in the Google Forms also you have something called, either you can start it as a blank form or you can start from a template. Both are possible. So that is where both accessibility is there. Blank form means you have to start from scratch. Template means you have something already there, you modify it. Just a minute, let me check. Okay, it's already live. Yes. So I'm going to create a new form. Okay, and I'm going to do a blank. I'm not going to start from a template. So I just came to a form. First thing you have to do is give a name for the form. I'm going to say student details. It can be anything, not only roll number, but it can be anything. And just click here on the untitled form, automatically it gets filled up, right? Then if you want to give any this is a pre-evaluation form. You give whatever explanation. So in the application form for this session, you would have seen a lot of instructions was given. Now, before moving forward, you have to have a decision what kind of color I want to use, what kind of picture I want to use. If I want to upload a picture, I can upload. If I want to upload a picture of mine or institute, all things can be done. So I go to here and select what, this is a default one which is already there. And I want to select what kind of color I want for this theme of form, whether the background to be white or if I want to choose a different color, everything can be done. You have only choice of these few many fonts, not many other fonts. And then that is, we are set with the design and everything. The next very important part is you have to go to settings. First, whether you wanted to collect the email address, that tells you about authenticity. So we don't get any duplicates, irrelevant people. So we collect the email address. So you can click this. If you don't click this, not necessary to collect the email address. You can ask in the form for email address, but it depends. It might be logged in, it might be not working, all those. But if you say collect email address, automatically only logged in can be used as collect email address. Response received, whatever they are submitting, if they want to receive a copy of that to their own email address. Limit one response. If they are doing some exam, it's always good to response one. Voting only one, that is all recommended. Edit after submit. They made some mistake, so they can go back and edit it. For exams, you cannot do that. But for some other details you're asking, you can always do that. See summary and charts. To be honest with you, this feedback, this pre-evaluation system, I have enabled the see summary charts for you. Whoever clicked that would have seen those charts already. Okay, it's up to you. Now coming to presentation, whether you want to show progress bar, you can have multiple pages for your forms. And then shuffle the question order. If you want to shuffle 1 to 10 and 10 to third one, third to sixth one, you can shuffle. Confirmation message. Thank you for submitting the form. We will soon get back to you. Some whatever question. In your application form, there was, after your submission, you saw the link to join the WhatsApp group. So that way, so you can give a confirmation message. Ultimately, if you want to do a quiz in the sense, this is one of the assignment today, like a graded quiz. You wanted to grade. For example, if this is the right answer, 5 points. If this is the wrong answer, it's 0 points. So like that, you can grade it. I'll show that in a while. After that, you save. So all the settings are ready. You have set your theme and how it looks. You can click on that I button. This is how your form looks like, right? Now you can start adding the questions. First question. Full. Now sometimes people in the full name, why should I need a multiple choice? Automatically Google is proactive and changed it to short answer, right? Now, do you want this to be a mandatory and or question on? So you say required. If you say not required, even if the person does not enter the details, he can still submit the form. If you go to the description, you can say do not mention all in caps. This is very, very important. I will tell you, because some of your applications you have submitted your name all in caps. I'll tell you the difference anyway. Then response validation. I wanted to ensure that they do not enter any numbers. They enter only text. So I can do that. Doesn't contain or text only. So this is validating that if tomorrow when you send this, if they put some numbers, it will not enter. They'll say enter only alphabets. That is names. That is kind of a validation. Now, the similar kind of question you want to ask once again. You use this duplicate button rather than doing it again. So I'll tell you, explain this also. So you put a duplicate button. Now you say institute name, age, all those, right? Like the same thing only you're going to do. Now let me ask a different question. Age category. Because it's not good in asking date of birth and age on a public domain. So I just made it as an age category. When we type the question, automatically Google is proactive and selected multiple choice. So I'm here saying 1 to 10, one age category, 11 to 20, another age category, 21 to 30, another age category, and then add others. If you say other, you will have the person who is submitting will have the opportunity to mention the category. If you don't add other, whatever that is given only will be taken. If you want to delete anything, you click this, it will be deleted. Okay, so now you can also do one more thing which is much more advanced. I will let you know right now. Now let us work on this right hand side part. Right hand side part is if you want to add a text below, you're saying we will now registration details. That is called a section, right? This is called a title or a description section. This is called, you can add a question, right? If you want, you can choose what kind of question. Checkbox, drop down, checkbox, multiple choice are all similar category. If you want to upload a file, in the application form you have uploaded a picture, that is through file upload. Linear scaling, if you want to rate it from 1 to 10, how much you want to rate. You have already done that in your pre-evaluation form. So those multiple choice options are also there. If you want to, for example, we are asking your date of birth, you can put this. So you can click this and get it. Now let's see how it looks like, let's say DOB, date of birth, or date of joining. Let's make it like that. So we want to see how this form looks. Go to this I button preview, and if you click on that, you will get, this is how your form is going to look like. Now this is just a one page, and if you click on this, you will see the calendar here for date, and here you can select which is the category. Let's say I'm putting some number, till it took. Let's say, see, this is a required question you have to answer. Let me give some link, till it took. So that is whatever text you're giving, it will be taking it. But if you give some specific number, if you're giving some text like alphabet, it don't take. So you can give conditions there. But if you just leave it blank, it will say, no, this is a required question, right? Email address also to be given what is the email that you have logged in. Now we will go for a little bit advanced version. In the same form, I'm saying here, if you're in the age category of 11 to 20, I want to take you to a different set of sections. So what I will do is, I will create here a section. This is called add section. So I'm adding a section, section 2 of 2, right? After this date of birth, I'm adding another section also, section 3. So I will mention here section 3 or category, okay? 11 to 20 is this category. This category is 21 to 30. This is something based on, this is something based on what you are trying to choose here. It is very proactively does. So we say go to select section based on, this is available only for the multiple choice, checkbox and drop down options. So you say that go to section based answer, and you're saying 11 to 12, go to this section, section 3. Then 21 to 30, go to this section, 21 to 30. Otherwise, it will, if it is 1 to 10, we directly go to the next section, which is called as DOJ or whatever section we are adding here. So here, if you say, if it is going to continue, either we get submit form. What I'm trying to do here is, if the age category is 1 to 10, we don't want them here. So we say submit the form. But if they are in the category of 11 to 20, it will go to the section called 11 to 20. And so first you have to create the section by adding this particular icon, add section, and then you can design. Now let us see how this form now look like. Let me add a simple answer. Test, test, test. Just for namesake. So I am just looking at this form now. This is now you can see there is page 1 of 3 because I created sections, right? There was some question that how can we import the questions from Word to Google Forms? Yes, ma'am. I'll show you that you can import questions. So after giving, let me give some name XYZ at something. If I go here, see, it is showing it should be valid email address. It knows what is the email address format. So if I give this, it's clear. I give a name, XYZ demo. I choose the category 1 to 2. Hope you remember, I designed my form. If it is 1 to 2, 1 to 10, it should submit. If I click next, it is asking to give the date of birth and submit. Right? Let me just check. I made some mistake. Oh, okay. I didn't mention it here. So 1 to 2, continue next session. Okay, now it should be fine. I didn't define that to submit it. So again, some random things rather than giving actual ones just for demo purpose. And I choose 1 to 10 and I click next. Now it is saying submit. We don't want that age category. Okay. So, but you can go back and make changes. Now I say I am 11 to 10 category. Okay. And clicking next. Now it is showing the section with specific category. I'm sure the participants have experienced already in the application form. In the application form, we have asked the first question, will you be able to attend all the 3 sessions? Whoever said no, it will go to a page like this to submit it. But you have an option to go back and change your mind. So whoever said yes goes to the next page. That is called a section. So it is all based on this particular question's answer. Based on that, we can categorize it. Okay, that is one. There's the one of the question I saw quickly on YouTube was whether we can import questions. Yes. So you have a button here called as import questions at the side. Just let me check whether YouTube Live is also fine. No. Let me just do that. Yes. Sir, we have another question in YouTube, sir. Please, madam. How to link Google Form to your presentation? Yes, we can do that. I will show you. But may I know what is the reason why you want? You can do it. I don't say no, but may know what is the reason that you wanted to do that way. There are questions and Q&A sessions to slides. One is Slido. I have already integrated here. If you see in the add-ons, you can see Slido. Slido we will be covering. So Slido is already being added. Yeah, I hope you are able to see the screen now. On the YouTube, just click on the live button. You will get the current one. So the Slido is one. I will be using it for a real-time session with the slides. And Google Slide itself has a Q&A session interface, which I will show you. That's what I don't know how many of you have played around with it. So okay, those I will cover. Madam, any other questions? Okay. So these are the forms that we want to add. Now, in between, let's say after the name, you wanted to display a picture, a slide picture, or it could be anything. I will Google search. Let me search my name, whether my picture is there, which I'm taking it from Google search. No, my picture is not there. Let us see if there is anything else. Someone else is there. Or let us take Holy Cross College. Maybe Trichy, I should mention. There are many of them. Okay, so I got the church here, so probably I'll select this one if I want to include the picture, right? So I can add the picture here. So it is adding the picture. So in the form, if you want some picture, or if you want to refer to that picture and do some questions, all those things can be done. If you think that you want to add a video, for example, you are asking a student, please listen to the class and answer the following questions. That can be also done. So if I'm asking here do's and don'ts of QSAR. So it will ask. This is one video which I already gave a session. So I'm asking, please listen to this class and answer the following question. Those things can be added here. So video, audio, all those things can be. Picture can be added. And sections I have already told. How to do the quiz, I will let you know. Now, once you start putting the questions and all those responses come, you will see something similar to this. Now you have to go to the response. Now let me cover that response and then we will move on to the next one. You have to click on response. There are a few things here. If you click that three dot, there are select response destiny where you want to see all these things or to an Excel sheet. So you select a response destination and you can give a name if you want, or you just say create. That means in the same folder of the Google Drive, it will create an Excel sheet or spreadsheet. If you click on this, you will be able to see the Excel sheet or the spreadsheet with all the questions that you have asked, and they will start doing it. Now, I told you that not necessary that you wanted to see the graphs here. There are other ways to see the graphs in Excel sheet. So let me go to this responses Excel sheet. That is a spreadsheet, a Google spreadsheet. Now you can see there are a lot of data here, right? How can you generate graphs here now? There's a very easy way in Google spreadsheet. At the time you see there's something called explore. You click on that button. On the explore button, automatically they came up with some graphs, right? If you want, you can change it, but they automatically came up. So that is something very interesting with Google Sheets, which you don't have in Excel. In Excel, you have to manually select it. So here, whatever Google Sheet, whatever data you have, you just click on this explore button. I don't know how many of you know. If you know, please put in the chat. Yes, sir, I know. I'll be happy to know that. So then you can say what percentage of column AF is resources to make good content. So if I click on that, it will show you the percentage. It will do the calculation. It is saying 86.78% is what the resources that they are looking at that particular column. If you want some other question, you can count of Skype Meet as a host. How many percentage? How many people said that they know the count? So we have 116 said I want to see the chart. So insert the chart. I can. So it will insert as a chart, or because I said as a count, right? So let me check. It's a picture. Yeah, here the account of age category. So I wanted to add this as a chart. So this is a chart that is added. The chart that I showed you in the slide was a pie chart. Now you can see it as a histogram, or yeah, that's what you see here. So this is what, and it is very dynamic. If you put on the chart, it will clearly tells you how many people are between 31 to 40. So this is what we are trying. I can see someone saying yes, sir, I know. Great, good. So this is something that you can easily get the charting and statistics of what forms you have created. So in the Google Sheets, you can do this also, either for the form. If you're creating a form, and accordingly, let's say you created a form to enter the institute name. Let me show you that. This one. This was a question for institute. Did it create a chart? No, because it was several other institutes came in, right? So it doesn't create a chart. So it will create chart mostly for multiple choices, ratings, check what to say, drop downs. For all those only, they will try to create the charts, not for everything. So keep that in mind. What kind of stats you want, and accordingly you design your questions. Now multiple choices you have, you can do that, no problem. So likewise, so either through the what to say from the forms, or you can go to the Excel sheet and click on this explore. It will come with its own charts. Other you can also say you can also tell on styles of what you are interested. Otherwise, you can say go to insert and chart. can manually create it. Why to waste time? Something already available. So that is what, because that is what one of your concern, that time to create the content is also a bit difficult, right? Something is already available. Why should you worry? Any on the forms, next form we will be again coming. We will be creating the certificates through forms. Yes, the reason is whatever you are adding in the form, let me show you that. Whatever you are adding in the form, as I told you earlier, you have to select the response destination. That will be your Excel sheet. And if you click on this, that goes to the Excel sheet. So whatever submissions are coming to your form, it goes to that Excel sheet. I mean, the spreadsheet. That's what it's called. So class marker, we can use that. Match the following can be used in class marker. That is also free. I'll be showing you how to do that. Okay. So through multiple choice grid, you can do the match the following. Only thing, you have to proactively make your question. That's all. Or give a, or one more thing you can do is you paste a picture of the like mismatched question, and below you ask the question. That is also possible. So yes, you can do it. Only thing, you have to think the way that you have to pose a question. So match the following can be done. Yes. Yeah. Anything else? Okay. So I have few questions in the so because anyway I'm going to take the session in Mentimeter, so let me show you. Now it is back. Yeah. So one question is Google Sheets and data from Google Forms. Yes, from Google Forms, the Google Sheets and the data will be collected. Yes, you can use that. It will be used for any purpose of analysis. But you have to link it. As I told you in the form, you have to click that responses. Where is it? Yeah. So you have to click on the go to this three dots and say select response destination. So unless you select which is the Excel or the spreadsheet, that won't be stored. So that storing, but still automatically it will be putting. So it might be difficult for you to find out that Excel sheet. So let me answer a few questions which is there in the Mentimeter right now. So Mentimeter, do we need any specific type of preparation to get graphs? As I told you already, you not for all the questions you get the for example, institute name, you can't get it. State, district, you can't get it. If you put a drop down list, let's say if I'm in Kerala and I put 15 districts as a list, and they are going to select it, then I will easily get a graph there, no problem, because among the 15 they are going to select. But if I just for all over India I'm going to post it as a district, there'll be plenty of them, the graphs won't be coming, because one will be from Trivandrum, one will be from Chennai, one will be from Gujarat, so we don't know from the state, so they don't chart it. So specific questions only you can get graphs. So please explain how to create Google form has less knowledge. Sir, I already explained, but I'll be posting in the Slack videos just to show you how to create forms and all those things, which will help you to do your assignments. Or we can do one more exercise, so maybe later after the session. How to create Google form? I think we already covered that right now. How to add images in the options of the quiz. I told you how to add images, videos. So I think I already answered the questions in the Menti. Now, before moving forward, as I already told you, anything that you're taking the response page of your form, you do not have any control on design, selection of data, nothing. Google decides. But when as soon as you go to the Excel, like when you click this view responses in sheets, when you go to the sheets, what to consider, not to consider, what everything but manual, everything. example, if I'm selecting this, okay, and I'm going to say chart in chart, and it is going to create a chart. There are data there, so it might take time if my internet will some time. Your internet menu, uh, already offline, so it is. So make available line. Click. Even if you don't have internet, you can work on it. So I have issues, and that's why it got disconnected. Okay. So I think that could, but when it's coming, I will show you. Yeah. Now we got it. I selected the Google box using, right. So you have to go to mentimeter.com and then update. Yeah. So you have to go to mentimeter.com and then create a login. It's absolutely free. You need not to have any subscription there. Just a minute. Okay. So the subscription there. So you directly create and you will see something similar like this. And then either you can choose any of the what to say the templates, or you can create your own. So let me take a template which I usually use for my online trainings, which I was doing since 3 months. So I used to give a title, then I'll just go through and then I will show you how to do it. Then I'll give some instructions. Then I wanted to understand the field of research of the participants just based on percentage, as you see on the screen. And then what are their feedback, or how many of them are currently using certain things, just to understand, like what I did a pre-evaluation form with you today, similar things with them. Then rate of confidence on different areas they are working on, again a message note, and then doing question like exactly what you did right now. You posted, some of you posted questions, I was able to see it on my screen, I was able to answer them one by one, and a thank you note. Even if you want, you can add pictures also. Now how do we do this? For that, you need to go to, as I told you, create an like an account, and then click on new presentation and give the name whatever you wanted to give. So let's say class MSc biotech. Okay, I just gave a name like this, and then I created it, so it opens a new presentation form. On the right hand side, you have an option what kind of question you want to ask, what kind of slide you wanted to create. So I will say first a slide, I want something with heading, so I will say slide with heading. You cannot edit anything on the screen. Whatever you have to edit on your right hand side, this side. I will say motivation class, something randomly I'm putting it at the subheading, organized by XYZ at ABC. So as you can see, it gets updated in my slide here. Then here, coming here, you say add slide. Now the next is I wanted to add again further some instructions I wanted to give as a bullet points. So again, I give bullet points. I'll say conditions, then I'll say one condition, two condition, second condition. You can give like that. So this will list as again another slide. Again, you add one more slide. Now you wanted to do something really interactive. Now you are going to ask questions. Let's say you wanted to select the question. So like a quiz, you say, are you okay today? We will say, I am okay, not okay, maybe okay. So there's three answers will be there, questions will be there. If you want, if you're creating this as a quiz, you need to give a time, how much time you're going to give them for each quiz questions. You can say them how much time I have to take. Faster correct answers get more points. How many of you know Kahoot? In Kahoot also, the faster you answer the question, you get more points. The same way you can do it here. Then if you want to give a music background, you can also create a leaderboard. This is for you are asking a real-time quiz questions when you're doing presentation. Let's say you're not doing the real-time quiz question. So whatever you have to ask under content. So for each slides, you have three specific options. One is content and customize. Respective to that slide, you will have options coming under content. You cannot customize anything other than what options they have asked for. Then you can go to customize, whether to hide the instructions bar, that number, go to menti.com, what number you have to, that you can hide. If you want to change any color background, you have to pay for it. Otherwise, it's free. But still you can choose themes. If you go to the top, here you see themes. You can make it red color, all those black color. Those themes you can choose, but only what options they have given to you. Not all the themes are possible. Let me choose this. Now all the white background has gone to black. But if you want to choose a picture, of course you have to pay. Now if another slide and saying word cloud, that means I'm going to ask the person to put any they wanted. All the words will come into this single slide. That is also possible. And the slide I'm going to ask choice or rating. So they should rate how far they know, let's say, how far they know slides, how far they know forms. I have a similar question in my Mentimeter next, which I have not gone. At the end of the session, I'll be showing you. So then spreadsheet. So if I ask you, you can rate 0 to 1. Strongly agree, or if you want to change that also, you can do. I am a no voice. I don't know anything. I'm an expert. As per you can change this also, which should be the lower, which should be the higher. You can show the average also, average value, and also they can skip if they wanted to skip any single statement, or you say no, mandatorily all three they should fill it up. Either you can put it as a slider or you can put it as a spider chart. The spider chart is very helpful if you are in the middle of some and decisions. So they are very helpful, and sliders are also there. So let me show you some example where I have used these sliders, which I already shown you, which we are going to use in the next anyway. So here I have used a slider. You can see this. It is showing some. So already 32 people submitted the poll for this one. In order to present it as a full screen, you can present. Now you can see it is now full screen, right? So this is how it you present it, and on the participants will have to go to menti.com manually on a browser, enter the code. No name, no email, nothing is asked. It's all anonymous. And you, as they are going to, if for example, if you right now go to menti.com and give this number, it will be accessible for you. Only when I make it active, you will be able to access. If I do not present, you cannot access it. That is the difference here in Menti. So that's why I said it's real time. So here you can see how many of them selected in the range of low and high. So you get more details here. So among 1 to 5, 2 is here for how many of them know MD software, how many of them are expert in that. So likewise for each of them you will be able, and it will also tell you how many of them skipped it. You can see nobody skipped in this case. In 32, nobody skipped choices. Only thing is that few choose 0, 6 of them choose 0, 9 of them choose 1, 4 of them choose 3, 7 of them choose 4, 5 of them choose, 6 of them choose 5, like expert. So you will have a deeper understanding about a statistics also. So this is a real time what you can understand. Google form is not real time. Once they submit, you get to know. But here it is real time. When they submit itself, you will come to know how much they are submitting, what they are submitting. This is really helpful when you're going to take a real-time feedback system. I don't know how many of you know the word called ticker in European and some of the universities in India. I don't know. I don't specifically name them. Some of them are already using tickers. Tickers means on the display, on a smart class display, they already show some options, A or B, yes or no, and people will be having a small remote like your car remote, right? Similar small remote will be there. They have to, for yes, A, for no B, like that. Only 2 or 3 switches will be there. They have to do. That is called tickers. They were hardware-based real-time feedback system. Now these are all online-based feedback system, but the student either should have a laptop or any platform. They have to access a browser to give a response to that feedback. So this is how you do it. Now, after doing this, how do you share the while you're presenting? As I showed you in my presentation, you are saying go to menti.com, then give the code 554187. That one way you can give, or you can click on this button called share, and a unique link will be generated. You can copy this and send it to everybody. So this is the link that I have shared in the guidelines. That is specific, but keep in mind, being it's a free account, this particular number will be active only for 2-3 days. After the 2-3 days, the number will change. You can see here. See, expires in 2. So after 2 days, the new number will come. Right? That you have to keep sure. But this unique link will not change. As far as my experience, it has never changed for me. But the numbers used to change. Or you can use a QR code. You can send a QR code for them to scan and go to the link. That is also possible. Or you can share the whole presentation as such to your colleague. That is also possible as a editable presentation. That is also doable. That you can also do. There was one question which I missed earlier. Please, sorry, I'm interrupting and going back there. He asked me, one of the professor, I think, he asked me that how can we add a collaborator to edit the Google Forms. So I'm just quickly going back to the Google Form before forgetting it. So if you go, when you're doing the Google Form questions, like at the top, there is a 3 dots. If you go to the 3 dots, there is an option called as add collaborators. So you can add a collaborator. The collaborator will have the rights to add questions, modify questions, monitor, everything will be there. So you have to do that. Since we are here already, let me tell you about the sharing aspects. For any Google platform, this sharing conditions are same for everyone. First, let me show you the bottom part. If you click on the change, only restricted people can view this or edit this link. If I change that to anyone with the link, I'm saying if anyone with the link can be an editor. That is possible. Okay, that also can be changed also. If you go to Google Docs or Google Sheets, here there will be commenter, viewer, editor will be. Here it's only editor. Or if I make it restricted, I have to invite people, otherwise they cannot, and ensure that they have Google access, Google accounts available. Then here you see the settings button. If you click on the settings button, there are 2 options. Editors can change permissions and share. Let's say I am the owner. I'm giving edit access to one person here. If I click this option active, then they also have the permissions to add more people. If you do not want that, uncheck this. Viewers and commenters can have the option to download, print and copy. Yesterday, the guidelines, whatever you see, you are not able to copy, you are not able to print, you are not able to download because I unchecked this option. If you check this option, even for the viewers, you can download the copy. So these are all depending upon what you wanted to do, what you don't want to do. Let me give a scenario where we don't do it. Let's say I created a content copying from internet. Of course, we cannot do that, but we have to cite it properly also. So we don't want others to misuse it, download and upload it somewhere because it's a copyright infringement. We cannot do that. We did it for an internal community for just to understand, but not for sharing. In that case, we have to do all these things because we don't want to misuse the content without a consent, understanding whether it is completely created by you or others. This was one of the question in the pre-evaluation form. One was raising a question, the safety parameters or copyrights parameters of these content sharing while we are teaching. We will discuss that more in detail on the 3rd session, but I just mentioned. So these are the options available for your form to add a collaborator so that they can also add questions. So regarding the form and Mentimeter, I am done. But if you have any questions, I am happy to answer. Otherwise, it's all same, nothing much, too much configuration. So following the first question was about the word cloud. So let us do an exercise right away. So I am recommending everybody to go to menti.com and give the number 206635. Go to menti.com in a browser, any browser, and give the code 206655 206635, and you give only single word. Let it be any word. Give only a single word. Don't give space and give a second word. Only one word. Just enter it and submit it. Let's see how far it, then you will see how what is this word count is. I don't see anybody start doing it. Yeah, one has come. Excellent. Or you give a feedback to this session. That is also fine. Give on a single word. You give a feedback for the session that happened today. Yeah, someone should RP. No, please give a word. Don't put an alphabet. Yeah. Now, if you see the screen, you can see it is automatically evolving. Right? That is called word cloud. So yeah, so someone has said motivating, someone said good, someone said excellent, someone said very informative, someone said life science, someone said happy, smile. So this is called word cloud. So this is what you're trying to understand is it can be used for feedback system, or you can say mind mapping. I don't know how many of you tried mind mapping in your teaching. So you are saying, okay, you want to write an essay on this particular topic, let's say something else. So now you come up with a mind mapping words. So they will just put words. From that, you have to expand it and explain and form an essay. That where you can. Otherwise, as I rightly asked you, please give me a feedback about my session on one single word. So someone has said inspiring, wonderful, informative. So this is what we are getting. So this is real time. Now, if I change this slide in your page, it will change. So now I changed my slide. You won't see the word question there. That's why I said it is real time. So I hope I answered the question through a practical thing. Now we can go to the next question. Yes. Code. Correct. Code is automatically generated for free versions. They automatically generate. So once you finish it, it will automatically tell you what is the code. So that code you have to share with your students, and that will be active for 2 days. After 2 days, it will change. This is the same concept is there for Kahoot also. Kahoot, Slido, all are same concept. You have to give a code. And the last question was survey. Correct. Madam, a survey kind of research can be applied only if it is a real time. Otherwise, no. See, whatever you have given me, I can easily download this data now. After the session is completed, I can go here. Let me show you that. Yeah, download results. I can download it as a PDF and a CSV file. That is all possible. But once I close this website on my side, as a teacher, if I close it, the students will not get access to it. So this is only for real-time process. If you want a survey kind, you have to use Google Forms only, not this one. Google Forms. So let me also put a disclaimer here. It's not only Google is providing slides or docs or sheets. Even OneDrive is providing, that is Microsoft. So OneDrive is also providing all these platforms. Zoho is providing, ZOHO. Zoho is an Indian company, that too from the owner and the main person is from Tenkasi. I don't know how many of you know. It is that company has come from Tenkasi. Registered office is in Tenkasi. So Zoho is also now my company completely works on Zoho. So Zoho also has all these features. Why I said Google? Because day to day you're using Android phones, most of them. So seamlessly it is easy for you to do it because all the default apps are already there. So that's the reason why I picked up Google. But otherwise, nothing like favorable things are all can do. It's all their personal choice which you wanted to select. So both in Google Form as well as in Mentimeter, after you do all this online real-time survey or feedback system, whatever, at the right-hand side, you have an option to download the results. As well as Mentimeter will send a link to your email address to download the results. Both are possible. I have to tell you one more thing. Let me tell you that. Let's say I use the same set of things for one class. In the next class, if I'm going to present it again, will be there. right? I wanted to start as fresh. In order to start as fresh, you have to go back to that same place and reset the result. If you reset the result, either for this slide or all slides, this will go off. If I say all slides and reset the result, all will go off. But do that only after downloading the results. So in the pre-evaluation, I have asked many of them, like Google Meet, Hangout. Let me be very frank with you. If you're just using audio, the data consumption will be very less. But when a video comes in means let it be that the host is sharing and you're watching, or you are switching on the webcam, data consumption will be more. For me, when I share a screen per hour, I have noticed around 1 to 1.5 GB of data consumption. I have seen. So it all depends upon how much you share. If it is just audio listening, it don't consume much. It is like you're listening to your audio channel or a music channel. So it all takes more data, yes. And apart from that, when you're taking class, there was a very important question about the PC requirement. Unfortunately, you require a little bit good PC, because when you're sharing your screen, your CPU takes a lot of RAM, memory and all. So you need to have good internet as well as good computer when you're trying to share screen. That is very important. Menti is only for real time. Google Form is not for real time. Yeah. And one more, I want to show you two other alternates also now. With that, we will end the session. Two other alternatives now we are going to see. Let me show you that. By default, built in Google Slide itself. Let me show you that option. So if you, after going to the present mode, so in the Google Slide, anyway, I'll take Google Slides later, but being we are talking about feedback system, I'll talk this. So you click on present, then the Google Slide full screen will come. At the bottom, you can see something called as Q&A. At the bottom, you just put like roll the mouse over it, and you will see a button called as Open Audience Tool. That is called the Q&A section. You click on that Q&A, and you can see something called as Audience Q&A. And this is also real time. This is not related to Google Form. This is real time. Okay. You as a presenter, you will see this. Now, if I click on something called Start New, there's a new link will be coming. You can see this link, right? You can see this link now. What I'm requesting everybody is, now on my presentation, you will see there on the top, ask questions at slides.app.goo.gl/jqpym. If you give the link, when the presentation is going on, through the Google slide itself, you can ask a question. That is also possible. All the questions will come here. It will start coming here. Okay. So if you want, you can try. If someone wants to type this link, slide, let me try copying and putting it in the chat. So I just pasted in the Woo chat. Just click on that link and try to put some questions. So your questions will appear here. This is something similar to menti.com, not Google Form, menti.com. This is also available. And if you prepare some speaker notes, like rather than presentation, you also put some notes, respective slide, the notes also will get displayed here. So the audience who are going to ask questions will be able to access your notes. So that's why I said Google has its own advantages. And if you say you're accepting question, you can switch it on. If you switch it off, then nobody can access it. Yeah, someone asked a question now. So let me tell you one more thing. There is one option to say ask the question anonymously. If you click that, your name will not come. Otherwise, your name will come. Okay. How to add images in the options of the quiz. As I told you, if you want to add images on the Mentimeter, you should be a paid user. You have to pay for that. Otherwise, it's free. So I am using since 3 months for all my meetings, but I never used images. How can we URL? Sir, can you please specify that question? I didn't understand. On what context? So this way, your Google slide also has an option to accept real-time questions. You don't require Menti. So that is also, but Menti has a different purpose, right? So here, if you think that, okay, let me answer that question here. So as Vaidya madam was asking how to add images in the options of the quiz, you do the quiz in the Google Slides. Okay, you do the quiz in the Google Slides and let them answer here. Okay, right now there are more options available. I'll tell about that later. I don't want to give everything in a single shot. So this is something similar to, I'm telling you, this is something similar to Mentimeter, just to ask questions, not for voting, no quiz, no poll, no word cloud, nothing, just to ask questions. Yeah, I can see someone asked anonymously, what is my name? Good. So they have tried that option. Good. So there are options available. So how can we create URL in Google Slide? Yes, sir. If you go on the top, there's something called share. In the share, you have the get link option. You have to mention whether the person whom you're going to share should be just a viewer or going to comment like a reviewer, or he can also edit. That you have to choose, and you can share the link. That is also possible. And all the slides, what I am doing here will be there in SlideShare, which we will update it accordingly. Okay, so when I took off the presentation, it's gone, right? The question answer is gone. Now again, I'm doing the question answer, present and question answer. It is asking continue the recent one or start new. I don't want to start new. If I start new, there will be a new link for that. Then the old previous question answers will be an issue. So I'll click continue recent so that the old one will continue. And I click on continue. So the old one all will get listed here. You can see here. So it is all stored here. And if you ask me, can we export it? No, but it is all stored there. So if here I am saying a present, I already answered this question. I already answered this question. Like that, I can mention it. Right. So I can present to them like that way. How can we create? So if you want to answer this question to everybody, that's what I said. If you want to answer, so I said present, and your question will come here. How to add images in the options of the quiz. So Q&A also can be done in Slides Google, no issues. But there are many more other options like Mentimeter available, but that will be done through add-on like Slido. We will be doing it. So one more thing I want to do quickly and then finish off. There's one more website called as Slido, SLIDO. It is there in the guidelines. So Slido also is a feedback system. There you can create events. So I created a test event. I have some live polls already there, and in your way it will look like this. If you are going to join, as you see the screen, as in the like what you see in the, so it will look like this. If I go to the poll and I am asking to start the poll, so activate the poll. When I activate the poll, it comes here. Enter a word. I say test and send. So whatever you see in the smartphone like this is what you the people have, and this what we created. So this is also similar to Mentimeter. For free account, there are limitations, how many questions you can ask and how many live polls. Only maximum three live polls, and this is also a live real-time system for feedback system. So today we went through Google Forms, Mentimeter, chart preparation statistics, Slido, and a little bit of Google Slide Q&A sessions also. Okay, so this is what we went through. Now, to one more thing for the assignment point of view, I want to tell you one more thing. When you go to the guidelines, if I click on graded quiz, engage the students, you are free to use Mentimeter, Slido, any of these two, and you can prepare the engage the student. That is one of the assignment for today, like what we did for Mentimeter.com. Then, so in the graded quiz, please go to this link. It will ask for an option to copy this document to your Google Drive. How to do this and all, I'll show you later, not now. So you can always send a person to a document if you want them to copy your document to their Google Drive. That is very easily can be done by just editing a link. So you have to click on make a copy. After you do a make a copy, it will be there in your Google Drive. In your Google Drive, let me go to that form. Yeah, this is the one. You have to go to that form called Proactive 20. This is one of the assignments. Okay, Proactive 20. Please go through these instructions. Okay, after going through these instructions, in order to create a form and modify accordingly, All these things are, so you can edit wherever there is a yellow color. Okay, you can edit whatever wherever there is a yellow color. What we are trying to do here is we are doing a test, a quiz test, and giving a grade, automatic grading. This can be also automated, but this is a manual mode. For you to see the form, you go to form. After going to this sheet, click on edit form. It will be there in your, when you click on edit form, it will create the edit form. Automatically it will be there. As I already written assignment for FDP, all those things, it will come. And then you can change the question, everything section. So I have just mentioned question, you change the question. You create which is the right answer. Now, which is the right answer you have to give here. In this Excel sheet, you have to mention which is your right answer. If it is for question 1A, then question 2 might be B, and question 3 might be A. So you have to decide. So you can prepare. It is not necessarily that you need 20 questions. If you think only 5, only 10, you decide. But in the sheet, you have to delete it accordingly. So there are 20 questions already formed. You can delete if you don't want all of them. So for deleting, just click on it. At the bottom, there's a recycle bin delete button will be there. You can delete it. So that is one way you can delete the questions. So this is one of your assignment. Another assignment is Mentimeter or Slido. These are your, you can use Mentimeter or Slido to get a pre-evaluation or a real-time feedback from the students. Right. Finally, the recorded session will be available in YouTube. Let me see how far I can edit it so that you will also able to look at each options. You have to submit all your assignments by June 20th. June 20th before 8 p.m. So today's assignment, you can start doing it so that if you have any questions, but you have to finish it before 8 p.m. June 20th. And the form will be closed by 8 p.m. for the submission link. The submission links are available in the instructions. There you can submit. Assignment links are given in the guidelines, and please join the Slack discussion through the browser so that for any questions or clarifications. If you have any more questions or anything, I can take up. Otherwise, I'll go for the final Mentimeter poll, and then we will finish the session. I go to menti.com and use the same code which we used beginning, 805606. Now I am taking a reflection or feedback from you all about the session. I can see a few people have already said it took too much time. It was useful, feel more inspired and motivated afterwards the session. I enjoy finding out what other online trainers are doing. I feel part of the e-learning ecosystem. I agree that it took too much time just because of my internet. Sorry for that. So Google Slides, you can see the question bar only after clicking on the button present. Once you click on the present button, your slide will become full screen. If you mouse over at the bottom of the screen, there's a small window will come, a small menu, a dashboard. In that, there is a button called Q&A, question and answer. When you click on that only, that will come. Otherwise, no. So your presentation, you have to click on the present button on the top right corner. Then a full screen, your screen will become full screen. At the bottom of that, there will be a dashboard. You click on Q&A, then only that question thing will come. And also it will show up the slide link. So by seeing this, I can see very less people, like around 3 of them said not useful. So I have to see how I wanted to help them to improve. And then around 1 of them said 1, and around 1 of them, another 1, 2, 3 people said 3, 4, 5. And around 20 people said, yeah, fully, strongly agree. Then I feel more inspired. Around 4 of them not inspired or motivated. They also skipped it. I enjoy finding out what other. So 5 of them said I didn't enjoy like other training doing. I feel part of the. So 4 of them said I don't feel part of a e-learning ecosystem. So I wanted to see how these 4 to 10 people, they are going to change their mind on the next 2 sessions, because we didn't complete the session. We just started it. So we wanted to see. So this has really helped me to understand, okay, today what I have done is something repeating for almost 10 people or 20 people. I have to see what new things I have to say on the next coming sessions. So this is really helping instructor where you have to improve. So this is what we have to do in our day-to-day teaching life. That makes more student engaging rather than just we teach and go. I agree with you to some extent because we are covering a lot many things, and keep making you to sit 4 hours a day is a pain. We cannot do that. I already did 3 hours with you, so I unfortunately sorry for that. But as I said, even if I'm a bit faster, please watch the YouTube so that you can rewind it. So okay, so some feedback also in the Menti. Little bit confused when you answering the questions in the chat box. Sorry, I am do not have access to chat box. So so I would recommend from tomorrow onwards, maybe from Wednesday onwards, please do not post any questions on the chat. Unmute yourself and speak. That is the best way to ask questions. You don't feel bad. Everybody is learning stage. I am also learning, daily learning. So don't worry. If there are mistakes, we will togetherly correct it. So please stop posting questions in the chat box because we don't know what context you're asking, or we might miss at what time you ask the question. So if you can unmute yourself and then ask the question, it will be really wonderful. So this is best solution that I can suggest for this question. Keep the question. Okay, I agree to that. We will keep the questions session from the next session onwards at the last. But when I'm doing a Google session, for all the questions related to Google session should be addressed because otherwise people also might lose the connectivity. But in between, I'll stop taking the questions so that we will take this up. Yeah, I can see 41 people submitted their opinion on the feedback. Yeah, I hope more will be doing on from the second session onwards. And I wanted to see the people here, around 10 of them, also move to the middle at least. I don't want to go at the end anyway, at least to the middle to meet their expectations. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so that's all from me for today. But if there is anything more to discuss, I'm free for another 5 to 10 minutes. That's why I said whatever slide I am doing, it will be coming. So will the complete yeah, the complete video will be available. It will be in YouTube. So I have to make some edits because of in between issues. So yes, it will be available. The YouTube link is already given in your guideline. The same link can be used. Okay, useful information. Thank you. Most of these are available on internet. So I don't know how many of you have looked at it. Others, for the others, this will be useful. Yes. Kindly also join this the Slack group. If you have any questions to be asked, please. Because this Slack group tomorrow you will be also creating for your students. So let's say you have 60 students in MSc A section, then 20 students in MSc B section. How can you send all? You say WhatsApp. See, WhatsApp has its own limitation on certain things. So for class and professional things, I don't recommend WhatsApp. So Slack has much more advantage there. So I would recommend you to use you know. So it's endlessly helpful for people to coordinate. So the link is there in the guidelines. Please click on that and join so that any questions, any queries there, you can please post it there. Okay. So thank you all. Thank you all.